Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we've got two maps again, although the second map is going to be a little bit different, being it's not even been made for use in the game engine. It's really designed for the map editor. We're going to look at it in the game engine anyway and play about with it and just see if it's the sort of thing that might be of use to you. So a little bit different second half show, a pre-recorded second half of the show recorded as live. Today's first half is from a creator we've not done before. They've done a few maps, but it's their first time on the show, and this one, it caught my eye. It just jumped off of the workshop, but is it any good? We'll soon find out. Not before we do this first thing. I was going to say not before we do this thing first, but you know what I mean. Hitting the like button. Thank you very much. Order words wrong. Done. Right, today's first map is Holiday Beach by BillyOnTheCorner. First of all, look at that thumbnail. Look at the name of the map. Look at the boldness of the map. And I thought, yeah, I have to check this one out. It could be really good. There's your start square. Yeah, not the most inspiring, but it's pretty clean, pretty cool. The terrain heights is very flat. It's kind of vibes of Florida, I would suggest. Just vibes. We have very strong resources across the map. That is definitely a positive from me, so thank you for that one. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's a bit ordinary, but listen, it's not always about the fishing. Okay, off to the workshop. We have some very strong screen. Look at the screenshots and the thumbnails, and it made the map pop. Holiday Beach made it pop as well for me. A nicely written short description. We are using the Mossy Mountain theme, the photorealistic LUT. There's a list of requirements, including the old hide it. I'd recommend hide it too, but whichever. Subscribe to everything, get the map up and rolling, and you're faced with, most of the time, swathes of this. Now, I'm not a big fan of this, but I can see how it can work if the scaling is done right. Oh, also look at the old, what's that, is it anti-aliasing, is it? I have got the settings right, but we're getting these, sort of like, shots of laser, isn't it, firing across the map. Anyway, in terms of a map like this, I can see the charm of it if it's balanced about right. As long as it's just not one huge swathe of completely empty nothingness, empty flat nothingness. As if it's something that points you in a direction to help build your city and just give you, not to say challenges, but direction. I can see how a map like this can work. And I'm gonna say it, this map is pretty much there. I don't think it's exactly the most inspiring, direction giving style of map that we've got here, but these huge swathes of emptiness where you're probably going to just do a big old grid city, good for you, have fun, it's not too bad. It's not so much that you just can't imagine facing, sitting down with an empty map and going, oh, I don't know where to start with this. It's kind of just about enough. Again, I feel that maybe just a little more help for the city builder, just saying, okay, let's break up these grids just a little bit, maybe with an extra lake or three or something like that. Our intersection here, this is going to take us down to the start square. Nice parkload there, and it is a nice parkload. Now, the standards on the map are pretty reasonable. We've got some very nice custom assets. The forests are a pretty strong depth. I mean, in terms of depth of trees, density of trees is probably the word I'm looking for. Yeah, what we have kind of is all or nothing. Now, where you're supposed to be building a grid city, there is nothing, and I guess that's definitely there's an argument for that. There is an argument for not having things in the area that you want to build on. I kind of approve. suppose you're building your city about here with these little ready-made grids. Okay, that's nice. I don't want that across the entire map, mind you, but just there saying, right, okay, this is probably the grid size you're looking for. Off you go. It kind of sets you off. And then we have these big blocks of resources of field painting, but large and bold and strong and big enough without being too big. See where I'm coming from here. They are definitely big and bold, possibly a little too big, without something just to make life a bit more interesting in them. Like I would say, we've got a lake in there, which is very nice, and the detailing in here is very. And again, it's all or nothing. Look at the detailing here. We've gone for it. This is striking. And some of those screenshots where I couldn't actually find the exact screenshot locations with all the rocks. I mean, I'll show you the rocky area in a moment, but I couldn't find that. But we do have head down. See the rail. See the rail. This rail bridge. See the way it lofts up into the air really high from a low. That's because we've got a shipping route under there. I think the answer there is don't have a shipping route going through. Then just have that running low. It just looks a bit silly. Just looks a bit silly to me. So yes, I wouldn't have had it. We'll check shipping routes out in a minute anyway, obviously. So anyway, it's a bold, it's a statement map. It's got big chunks of area to build in and big chunks of dense trees you won't want to build in. Nice bit of tree fade going on down to the bay here. I appreciate the tree fade going on. And I also like the switch of biome as we go down onto the beach. Again, this is a very wide swathe of beach. We're talking about, I don't know, about half a kilometre, maybe a bit more than that of beach. And so 200 metres of palm trees of depth of palm. I mean, I'm guessing at the depths there, but you see where I'm coming from. It's not subtle. It's just, this is what you get. It's all or nothing. And the all is really all, and the nothing is absolutely absolutely huffing and puffing. Right, over here, here's where all that rock work is. You saw those screenshots? They must have been taken down there because there's nowhere else with rock work. Now, I couldn't find the exact spots where the screenshots were taken from, but the screenshots make it look far more beautiful than what we have here, which is, again, it's all or nothing. It is all of the rocks with a few small patches of oases, little tree clusters or whatever. And these are nice. It's a good tree mix to make that work. But is it adding much or anything really to the map? It's a strong area. It's a bold. It's a statement map. And this, for me, comparing it to their previous work, this is way above what they've done in the past. So credit for the improvements. Absolutely credit for the improvements. Right, shipping routes. We have one. It comes in from the edge of the map here. And it loops down the side of the map this way. Does what you want it to do, basically, doesn't it? Yeah, heads down and then off the edge of the map down this way. Or does it go? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Oh, it loops up and goes off the edge of the map there. Okay. Then over this side, I think we know what we're going to be seeing over here. Is it comes in on the edge of the map there. And then we've got the shipping route that heads up along the edge of the map, hangs onto the edge of the map and goes underneath the rail bridge. And then just off the edge of the map at the top. See what I mean? We could have lived without the rail bridge. There's no reason for this shipping route to go all the way up that way. We could have easily not had that. Easily. And it probably would have worked better. Right, water flow. Where's that danged start square? There we go. Is there any water flow in the start square? We've got a lot of coast, so you probably can pump into this this splash of water. No problem. I'm not really seeing any motion in that ocean. Maybe a little bit of light. 1 or 2 or 3 light arrows just at this end. But yes, just pump and draw from opposite ends of that and you're probably going to be okay. Just be a little bit careful and work towards finding a better location. Anyways, so that's it. It's a statement map. It's bold, it's strong. It's definitely for an American-style grid city. And it is broken up probably about enough for some of you. Probably not enough for me, but for some of you to actually get on and actually have a really good fun time. But what do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. Take you to the voting page where you can vote for free, but be sure that you're voting on the correct map, because there are 2 maps. And we will be voting on the second map, I just won't be rating it. Okay? Good. Right, today's first map. What do I think of it? Well, it's eye-catching from the thumbnails and the screenshots. And it's a statement map. It's strong. It's got strong design features into it. Does it really sing out to me that I can give a 4th star? I'm going to say it doesn't. It lacks that little bit of finesse, and it is all or nothing. The all is very strong. The nothing is the word for the day. The nothing just doesn't quite carry. So I'm going to go for a high 3. Detailing, I can say pretty much the same. What standards we have are pretty strong, but there isn't really anything that says to me that I can award a 4th star. So I'm going to match that high 3. High 3 is okay. Okay. Gameplay potential. Do you know what? I'm going to knock into that 4th star, but only just. It does feel like it's a decent grid city build, but slightly lacking in inspiration, just lacking a little. Holiday Beach by BillyOnTheCorner, really glad to see it, had to check it out, and we've got something a little bit different coming up after the intermission, so join me there. And on with today's second map. Now, a few of you are going to look at this and go, why did you bother? Well, it was different, it was eye-catching, it was interesting. You'll notice from the one real image that we're going to see that it was one that it had to be looked at. I do it so you don't have to. It might be at the cost of not seeing a better, more complete map, but I feel that this show is for a little bit of everything. We've seen the flat map. We're not going to see a map which has got absolutely nothing apart from undulations. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Today's second map is DIY Map 7 by WRD, which lets you know that this isn't the only one that they've done. I've had a look at a few of the others, and this is definitely the most eye-catching, so we will roll with this one. Your start square, for what it matters, is there. And what I mean by what it matters is you won't be playing that as your start square. Terrain heights are lumpy with some buildable space around the outside. Good. We have no resources. That's because you won't be building any resources on here. Well, you will, but not in the game engine. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map looks like this. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, absolutely nothing. What you need is the map editor. Okay, this is a resource for those map makers that want to play about with that. We'll be using the Dubai mainland theme, and I think it was the realistic 1.2 LUT, I'm not entirely sure, not that it matters again. I've pre-recorded this part of the show, and we'll be just playing about as if we're in the map editor, but we'll be in the game engine. And so yes, it's not a map you'll be playing on, it's one for the map makers out there to play about with. I will ask you to vote on the map at the end of the show, right at the end of the show, but it's just one of those that I think is worth a look. And so down to ground level, and we have a few little problems already. You can see the river is not reaching the edge of the map. We've got, I mean, a nice looking river system in there at the top area here, down to about this point where it starts to struggle, and that is ongoing. I have let the engine run for a while. You kind of want the river to extend downwards, but again, this is something for the map editor rather than for the game engine. So we do have also, just sort of mention it while we're down here, we have an outside connection down here for the highways. We do have a splash of, I'm not sure if it's sea level or if it's just a lake down here. Let's have a little look. Have we got a spawn point down here? We don't. We have a signature. Thank you, WRD. Nice little thing to see down there. But yeah, so that is sea level by the looks of it. Yeah, there we go. Sea level is there. What I think we'll do, I know we're not in the map editor, but I have the tools in the game engine. We'll do a very quick fixer-upper on this one. I'm not going to rate this map because this is not intended to be complete for the game engine. This is meant to be a resource for the map editor, so it wouldn't be entirely fair. So we're doing something different today. What I think we'll do is I think we're going to raise the sea level because the river is not reaching the sea. So rather than try and fix the river, if we take the sea level up to whatever is at this point here, so let's do that. How about, where are we? That would widen the river. There we go, about there. Start the simulation up. Right, so now we have, oh, boom, there we go. Let me drop the speed of the simulation back down so we have some sort of control over the camera. So now we have a more believable. See, I fixed the river. I fixed the river. Some floodplains going on down there. What's the coastline? Interesting looking coastline as well. This is like Southeast Asia here, I feel. Running all the way up to not Siberia. Where are we? What's the opposite of Alaska? What's the Russian version of Alaska? I don't remember. Himalayas, maybe? And a stumpy Indian subcontinent. I reckon it's kind of definitely a Asian vibe. Anyway, let's stick some trees down. I mean, this is going to be a speed paint. What we got? I think, yeah, pines are an idea. Let's go with the tall pines in the higher areas and the small pines in the lower areas. What do we think? Let's bring the brush size up. Gonna have to do this. I'm gonna do this I'm gonna need to buy all of the tiles first of all. Let's do that. Options, 81 tiles, unlock. And now we should be able to paint trees everywhere on the map. I hope. So we have some trees. In fact, let's do it this way. I know we've technically got trees in the river, but I'm not fretting, I'm not fussing over that. Let's, because they shouldn't show up on this particular build. Bring those up this way. And we'll just follow these areas here. I'll bring some trees. We're going to need a, not brush strength, brush size. I'm not going to worry about tree count either. Let's just see what this map can look like with a coastline and some trees across the areas. Oops. Then we'll mix in some of the smaller pines in a moment as well. Oh, not brush, smaller brush. Again, there's no finesse going on here. This is literally a mad, crazy just bonkers creation here. I know I've also flooded the outside connection again, but in the map editor you'd be able to make sure that didn't happen. We'll give yourself your own proper outside connections from land, because we've just filled the ocean. We've just created an ocean, actually, I guess. And a larger brush size going on here. Brush size down. And now, the way that I'm doing the tree painting here is probably not far off what many first map makers would do. Not realizing that to get the full effect, you really want to be taking hours and hours and hours over every step of the process. Throwing down trees like this it's not the best. I'm going to bring some of these and just trim out some of the along the edges there. Yeah, it's shoddy work, but somebody's got to do it, and that somebody today is me. I'm trying to get this within the length of the show as well, which is, I think it's going to be fine. Right, so how's this? Oh, we've got a bit of coastline there we could do as well. Okay, let's have a little look at the... So yeah, we've got... that's how the map could look. Highways, if I was going to draw in highways here, I think we'd bring one in from this side and bring it via this kind of route. I think the start square would be somewhere around the river mouth. So the actual game as it's at the moment has it up in here, which is a bit confined. I like the idea of around here somewhere. We could have another highway connection coming in around the coast this way and maybe bridging it over. So coming around this way, bridging there and connecting up with the highway coming from this direction. We might even have, say, a national road connection coming in through the valley this way and then following the river down that way. I think that's how I'd do the connections if it were me. Let me know in the comments how you would connect the road, the map up if it were you. But I think the map's got a certain panache to it. I'd say the map, the height map, completed in the world builder, and like I say, the world builder can give you some really nice striking templates to work with. But of course, until you flesh it out, giving it some trees and some outside connections, a working river, which this one wasn't really working, you don't actually have a map at all. So yeah, we're not going to be ranking this map, because if it were, it would have been instantly, we'd have a 1 star for gameplay, even though you can say it's 5 stars because you get a chance to build your map fully. In terms of detailing, there was no detailing, so it would have been 1 star for that. And in terms of aesthetics, I mean, it probably would have been 2 stars, but again, it's not finished and it's there for us to finish. It's a do-it-yourself map, and I encourage you, if you fancy making a map and you want a good base to work from, well, why not try with this one? Definitely worth looking at. Really glad that WRD has shared this one, and there's a few others on their workshop as well, and maybe more to come. So that's it. Right, okay, if you want to vote on the map, the link is in the top right hand corner of your screen now. I put it up there just for completionists, those of you that feel, you know, a bit tricked if they haven't had a chance to vote on 2 maps. So it's up there, but I'll say I won't be voting on it. I hope that you do, though. And I hope that you're still there and you're going to use the word of the day in the comments just to prove you're part of the 20 and out elites. And I'll be back this weekend with the chart show. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. I've been BonBonB, and you've been very, very welcome.